What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran. We're going back to their 2000 album Pop Trash again. Been very fascinated to go through this, partially because there is such a mixed opinion about it. I know a few of you have mentioned you're very fond of it, and a number of others of you have mentioned it's not your favorite, although I think there's been a couple people who have said that, like Red Carpet Massacre, they're going to just, sort of keep an open mind and go through it again, even though it wasn't originally their favorite, so I really do appreciate that. But yeah, we're up to a tune called Lady Xanax. I think I mentioned it at the end of my reaction to Mars Meets Venus, that I was fascinated by the title. It instantly makes me think of that Rolling Stones song, Mother's Little Helper, and that it suggests, one image I get when I think about the title is a sort of like suburban denizen who is, sort of ensconced within the trappings of modern cultural, social, and sort of, digital life, and thus, due to the pressures and sort of stresses and anxieties of that, seeks refuge in some sort of chemical, whether prescribed officially or, got over the counter. So yeah, it suggests someone who perhaps is leaning into chemical dependence as a way to, continue holding on, white-knuckled, to the sort of suburban life that they're within. But another thing it makes me think of is, Lady Macbeth, so Lady Xanax could perhaps be sort of a modern, like, cultural take on a character like Lady Macbeth, sort of, manipulative and sort of, urging her husband to do things in a certain way, and ultimately perhaps, depending on how you read the story of Macbeth, being most responsible for the calamities that would then follow. Which, I'm thinking of the out damn spot scene. It's I love a lot of Shakespeare, but Hamlet and Macbeth in particular always have a special place in my heart. So if you haven't read Macbeth, go do that. But yeah, the phrase Lady Xanax makes me think perhaps it could be a cheeky, like, modern take on a character like Lady Macbeth. But yeah, we'll have to see. Again, sometimes phrases, even if they get my brain going, they might have nothing to do lyrically with what my brain, the images and sort of concepts that it suggests. But yeah, we'll have to see. And once again, I did want to mention that this is the 2022 reissue. They do have them now up on Discogs. So again, I think that there's at least a couple bonus tracks here because it has the Spanish and French version of Someone Else Not Me, so I'm going to get to those eventually. I very much enjoyed the sort of English, opening tune of the album, so looking forward to that. But yeah, let's get it. This is Lady Xanax from Duran Duran's 2000 album Pop Trash. Acoustic guitar stands out right away.
Here comes the morning light you can face. Lie on your bed staring into space. Watch the time slip gently by. Don't ask why.
Kind of like Comfortably Numb vibes a little bit.
So many friends, but nobody calls. Can't be alone when the darkness falls.
More light and dark.
Got to make it to the party. Socialize. Break the ice. emptiness deep inside. You are the one that's been left behind. So you bent with your mascara, social eyes. Don't look twice.
That transition is brilliant. I feel like there's maybe something to this person in a modern sort of social setting that's like losing control. There's a wickedness to this tune. It feels like we've taken Xanax. It's like your head's in this fog of like a chemical storm. Siren-esque sort of layer there. There's a lot of like, I think, articulation of themes through sound in this one. And I gotta say, this is another tune. 3 years later, I can hear the outgrowth of sounds and themes on Medazzaland in this album, and this is another example. It just had this sort of like warped, slightly dark, maybe a bit dangerous feel to it. Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that. Again, there's some lines in there that I'll have to hear again, but I do think maybe there was something to that idea of someone who, again, on the surface and in their sort of modern social and maybe cultural or familial setting, looks like everything's pretty much normal, but it's only because they're sort of like holding on white-knuckled, and I think it was something like the cracks in their makeup are starting to show and so on. So like it does sound like maybe there's a little of that connection to Mother's Little Helper, like I was thinking, but let me know if I'm sort of misreading that. Let me know if there's a particular line that's insightful to understanding. Let me know what you think of the sonics. Again, it felt like we were under the influence of a chemical. It felt sort of like dark and psychedelic, and sort of, there was that hint where, I think it was just like a synth or something, but maybe it was Warren on the guitar, but it almost sounded like a siren that, like, if these trends and these sort of processes continue unchecked or unaltered, there could be a more sordid end to, the way this person is going and the way their behavior is tilting. So yeah, I really do enjoy that. We'll have to see what some of you say. I'm curious, again, as just knowing that the opinion about this album is mixed. But yeah, the next time we come back to this one, we'll be listening to The Sun Doesn't Shine Forever. A truism in many ways, but yeah, it suggests a certain sort of like emotional or atmospheric setting. So yeah, I'll be excited to think about that one when we come back for that. Let me know what you think of this one. Other than that, I'll see you next time.